There was a study that came out, 50% of people believe their calls or texts aren't secure. So you're just sending something knowing that somebody on the other end, some government official, hacker, somebody can see what you're saying. I'm not okay with that. People are tired of WhatsApp, Meta. The trust for Signal on the conservative front is at all-time low. Telegram is not actually as secure as people may think. They don't have end-to-end encryption by default. I want my privacy. What am I going to use? What am I going to trust? Does this company align with my values? I mean, freedom chat, God, family, freedom, privacy. I'd say more than 50% of the world can get behind that. Taiwan is obviously, that's not American, but they're afraid of China and interference from there. So it really is, it's a global issue around the world. And I see freedom chat, it's not just going to be an American thing, it's going to be a global thing.
Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back for another incredible interview to talk about Freedom Chat. A lot of you guys are on Freedom Chat. A lot of you guys interact with me on Freedom Chat. You tell me you love, how we do exclusive content there, and it's just safe to communicate. And so I want to bring back the CEO of Freedom Chat, Tanner Haas, to talk about the new updates and the future of Freedom Chat. So a lot of you guys that are participating, you know what to look forward to. And some of you guys that don't know about Freedom Chat, even as influencers, you need to get on Freedom Chat. But we're going to discuss all of that with Tanner right now. Tanner, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for coming out here, man. I want you to give us some updates on what's going on with Freedom Chat. I know you and I talked about doing like Freedom Chat debates. Well, they're not debates, they're actually Freedom Chats, right? Yep. So we were talking about that and a little bit of things that you're going to innovate on the Freedom Chat app. But I want to hear from you, man. What's new?
So since we last spoke, I think this was 2 months ago, we introduced Freedom Chat to your audience. You're on it. You have almost 1,500 subscribers. And those are intimate subscribers. It's not like on another social network. Like, these people engage with you. They're able to reply to you. You respond back to them. So since then, I mean, our user growth has been roughly 150% month over month,
Wow.
which is exceptional. Users are using the app frequently, meaning hourly, and people like what they see. So we're only making it faster, smoother, adding more features. And we're just getting started. I know we mentioned that last time, but it's every day. Jeff Bezos says every day is day one. And I think that's true. And bigger people are starting to take notice, whether they're, on the left wing trying to discredit us, or even big companies like Newsmax, where I'm going to appear tonight. I don't know if this is going to air before then, but people are taking notice of what we're doing, and the people that are jumping on our app, whether that's ambassadors, security operators. A lot of things are happening. It's moving quickly, and excited to just share more with your audience.
Yeah, one thing that I love about it, and because Blackline Security Operations is my security company, and we communicate exclusively on Freedom Chat. That's where we trust that we can have communication and operations right on Freedom Chat. So I'm not just telling people to do it because it sounds cute. Like, we literally put our trust and faith into Freedom Chat to make sure that we're secure when we do our secured security operations. And I love the fact that it's dynamic, that it's a dueling part, right? I have my side where I have my channel where people follow me and communicate with me in ways that they can't communicate with me on any other platform. It's intimate, like you said, because I can't respond to everybody on YouTube. It's too many people, thousands and thousands of comments every post. I can't do it. But on Freedom Chat, I see every post and I can communicate. But then on the other side of it is that I can communicate with my family members, my team, and everybody on a secured and encrypted level of communication, which I absolutely love. So I wonder what's next, because we could do voice calls. Not voice calls, but voice memos. Communicate through text, the emojis and stuff. I love that aspect of it. What's coming up next when it comes to how far we're going to go with being able to engage in the influencer platform side, and also communicating with family, friends, or even business relationships?
So the way we designed it, which is entirely unique, is you have on the left side private chats, and then on the right side public channels. But even the public channels aren't so public in the sense that I subscribe to your channel. Nobody can see the channel I'm subscribed to. If I respond to you, I can create a random name so you don't know my true identity. So that's the way we designed it from the ground up. And what's coming soon is, well, from a creator standpoint, you're going to be able to poll with your audience. So share a poll. Eventually, we'll be able to have live streams. And because we prevent screenshots and screen recordings entirely, if somebody doesn't join your live stream, they're not going to be able to see it at any point except right now. They can't screen record because we prevent screenshots and screen recordings entirely. So we have polling, we're adding file sharing, stickers, just making it more fun, making it faster, making it smoother. And then absolutely, we're going to add voice and video calls. And these are going to be end-to-end encrypted voice and video calls, which the majority of voice and video calls today aren't as secure as people would think. So it takes time to do it right, and we're going to deliver it, but we really are. I mean, what we've been able to build and the time frame with the amount of money we've raised, I mean, it's incredible. So we are looking for more influencers, and we did launch. I mean, people can subscribe to your channel yearly, monthly, and we're gonna start offering a profit share where, you know what, if you're an influencer and you own your Freedom Chat audience and you get 1,000 subscribers, okay, we'll split that with you. We want to work with influencers where you own your audience. Okay, engage with them in a more insightful way, not just on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, where it's filled with hundreds of thousands, millions of bots. On Freedom Chat, we have built-in anti-spam protection, so you can be sure that everybody that's on Freedom Chat is a human that
Yeah.
passed our anti-spam test. So you want to really engage with your audience where they can speak freely, and they want to use a screen name, they can use a screen name. They want to use their real name to talk with you, go ahead. So what we do is entirely unique. It's secure, it's needed, and we really are just getting started.
I love that. I want to talk about raising money for a minute
Mm-hmm.
and the investment opportunity because not only when we talked about Freedom Chat did I see that it was a great mode of communication that I believed in. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, easy. It was easy. I love the way it looked. I love the way it feel. I love that I'm able to get in on the ground level
Mm-hmm.
as we grow and have some input,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I have some, I'm an advisor, and so I have some input on what I think it should look like, which is smart that you did that, to have some people who are in the influencer space to be
Mm-hmm.
able to talk about what people may want to see and how they
Yeah.
want to interact. But also, I think it's an incredible opportunity for an investment. Like I'm big on investing in companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to say this, and you may disagree. I don't know how you feel about this, but like a lot of people believe that maybe just primarily real estate or primarily putting their money in the market is really where they make money at. And I think it is true. You
Mm-hmm.
can be rich by investing in the market. You can be rich by doing real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Wealthy people invest in companies.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you become wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you become billionaire status
Mm-hmm.
or have billionaire status. You look at all of the major people, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Their fortune is not necessarily just real estate or anything like that. Their fortune is having ownership in a major company that's
Mm-hmm.
worth trillions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want you to speak to that for some of the influencers that we may bring on. They may have an opportunity to be a
Mm-hmm.
part of the foundation, and also accredited and potentially non-accredited investors,
Mm-hmm.
what that opportunity looks like for Freedom Chat.
Yep. Well, legal disclaimer, we're not financial advisors. We're not gonna, but yeah, you could take the diversify real estate, long-term S&P 500 ETF. Yeah, sure, go ahead. I think there's a place for that in everybody's portfolio, but you look at BlackRock, which a lot of people aren't a fan of. Larry Fink, yeah, they led the ESG. Not a fan entirely, but then you look at Chase, JP Morgan, private investments, they're starting to allocate a larger portion of people's funds in that direction. Not 100%, but 10 to 20%, because you think of really, if you invest, like this is the VC model, you invest in 10 companies and there's a chance that 8 of them fail, but 2 of them hit 100x return, you still make your money back. So for us, we're building something where we don't think there's a very small upside. We think the upside is absolutely tremendous, where we want to hit it out of the park. And what does that mean? Well, we're competing against some of the largest, most successful companies on the planet, where you look at Telegram, worth $30 billion, WhatsApp, which is Meta, Facebook, which they don't really divvy it up, but we could say they have a $100 billion valuation, Signal, which is privately funded. Chairwoman of the board is the CEO of NPR. I just had to throw that out there so everybody knows. So we're competing against some very large companies, but when you look at our scale, the messaging app market is going to grow to roughly 7 billion people by 2030. We want to get, let's say, 5 to 10% of that. Okay. I think if we hit 50 to 200 million users by 2030, if we can get 10% of people, which is the standard premium type model, if we can get 10% of people to pay $6 a month, like that's where the numbers just start to make sense. It's exciting, but we're not doing this just from a profit perspective. I'm doing it so I can communicate freely with my friends, family, associates. I want to be able to send my wife something and know that it's end-to-end encrypted, no storage messages on our servers, and under no circumstance can anybody see that message except me and my wife. If I text you something, and we don't talk about anything too crazy, but I want to make sure that, hey, nobody else can see that but Brandon. So I think it's you can be a part of something that means something. There is a huge upside. It's incredibly fun. So we are looking for both accredited and non-accredited investors. So if you're a non-accredited investor, just email us, invest@freedomchat.com. Say you're not an accredited investor, but you would have interest in participating. And if there is enough interest, which so far we have received hundreds, I think it's in the thousands of people saying, yes, I'm interested. I'm not an accredited investor, but email us. Let us know, invest@freedomchat.com. And if we get enough, we could launch a crowdfunding campaign where anybody could participate. And on the flip side, if you are an accredited investor and you want to get some significant skin in the game with a company that is looking to transform private communication, we're going to add voice and video calls. We're going to have a desktop version. We're going to continuously innovate. We're going to be secure for a post-quantum future, meaning when quantum computers come online and render all encryption today obsolete, Freedom Chat's going to be prepared. We're going to be at the forefront of that. So this is an opportunity to get in on the ground floor. And again, email us, invest@freedomchat.com. Your input is valued. We want people a part of this journey with us. And just go ahead and take action. Let us know that if you're interested.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I mean, I'm hoping that people see it. And then also, you want to be a part of a company that shares common values, right? You know, you can spend your time elevating a company that literally, if they knew what you really believe, they probably would ban you off the platform.
Yep.
But Freedom Chat is a company of reality and a company of integrity. And I think a lot of people that are watching this abide by those ideals. And I think that's why Freedom Chat is so appealing to me too. I'd rather spend my resources, money, effort, and energy in a platform that I know that supports the things that I stand for, and that's one thing that I love. I want to talk a little bit about the Freedom Chats that we were talking about exploring, because a lot of times you see debates that go on, and I'm not really a big fan of debates, right? Because people get a moderator or they don't have a moderator and they're just arguing with one another.
Yeah.
And if this person's audience like them, they're right. This person's audience like them, so they're right. Yeah. There's no discussion.
They're still in their silos.
It's like no, it's time to have a discussion.
Yeah.
Like if we're going to talk about a topic, let's have a discussion about the topic, not the debate stuff. Because to be honest, the guy that wins the debate may not be the guy that was truthful. Or the guy that was actually right. Yep. It's just that the person knows how to debate or argue better than the other one. But I want us to have a dialogue and conversation. And we were speaking about potentially having these dialogues as Freedom Chats. I mean, tell me your thoughts on that.
We will, and hopefully we can make some time today to make that happen. So, I mean, we had a 4-hour dinner in Nashville, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we spoke about a lot of things which a lot of people didn't know about you. I didn't know about you. And I think this is what the world needs today. It is so superficial. People go on and they have a debate No, it's just they're in their own silos. They go after, they don't even say things. Like I saw Nick Fuentes and I think it was Tucker Carlson or Piers Morgan. And to be honest, I don't watch 99% of those, 99.99%, because it's fake. They didn't say anything to each other. And then afterwards, they're tweeting at each other. They're going after each other. It's like, say that to their face while you're
Right.
sitting there with them. I mean, these are not debates, they're in silos. So what I want to do, and what we really need in this country, is authentic discussion, not a debate. It's okay, you're pro-choice. Why? Let's discuss that. You're pro-life. Let's discuss that. You don't believe in marriage. Let's discuss that. Not just these clickbaits where I go on my platform and I try to make a few thousand because I'm sending out a tweet or I'm sending out a post. Like that is so superficial. It's so it irks me. And what Freedom Chat stands for is family, freedom, God, truth. Like let's define what we are as a company. But now let's go. This is a little, it's not a side hustle. I think it's going to be a dynamic part of the company. We'll have Freedom Chat in-depth discussions, because right now, if you don't agree with me or you don't agree with Nick Fuentes, like there are things where we all of AOC, we think the other side is demonic, quite literally retarded. I don't know if that's an acceptable word choice anymore, but that, to me, it's like, well, let's just debate with these people, because at the end of the day, we're all humans, we're all people, and whether some people actually quite literally, I think, are demonic or
Yeah, yeah.
mentally ill, and that's fine. But some of them, I think, they just have a difference of opinion. They came up a little different than us, meaning all, like, we're all shaped by our perception of life most of the time, and that's because of where we were born, how we were raised, what happened to us when we were growing up. So I think having these discussions where we're not looking for clickbait, this is a real discussion where, you know what, we're going to talk about things that nobody else has heard before, and we're going to get to the root cause of something. I want to hear the truth. I want to get to know what makes Brandon Brandon, what makes Larry Elder Larry Elder. Larry's an advisor, so if he's listening to this, Larry's a super good guy. Most people don't know him. That's what we want, is real discussions, not clickbait attempts to make a few extra $1,000 on YouTube or Instagram, for people to think independently, to come to their own conclusions.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about this while you were talking, Tanner, is that I would like to have them kind of like what we want to do
Hmm.
is have them in places that are relaxed, chill, kind of like in an environment where people would have a real conversation with
Yeah,
one another, right?
not a studio,
Yeah, not
cigar
yeah, yeah,
lounge.
yeah. A
We're
cigar lounge, or like maybe you like to go bourbon and you go bourbon, or maybe you just like cars.
mhm.
Just have a discussion in a really nice car, or whatever the case may be. It could be an old school, or maybe you like being at the library or something. I don't know, and you could have a discussion in a library setting or something like that.
Extra quiet whisper, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm down for that.
So that's what I envision it being too. It may have to start out online first,
Hmm.
because of course there's a lot of cost incurred, and you can have these discussions like the Jubilee and some of these others that bring people from different sides together, and they try to have an impartial discussion.
Hmm.
Yes, it's gonna always get heated, man. People are gonna have their things, but at the end of the day, it's like, let's do it in good faith, right?
Yeah,
I may think that you're a nut job fool, but that don't mean that I have to attack you when we have a
yeah.
conversation. Let's just talk about point by point by point,
Hmm.
like I say, in a laid back environment where we don't feel threatened by one another.
Yep.
Let's just say we're gonna agree to put our differences aside, and let's talk about this one topic,
Yep.
or let's get to know one another. Like, I think that AOC and some of these other people they put on a front, they put on a representative, because
Yes.
they really need you to think that they're this way, because that's what their voters need to
Hmm.
see so they can raise money. I wonder if you sat down with AOC and you like, what was it like for you growing up?
Hmm.
Well, then why do you think this? When did you become a Marxist,
Yeah.
or whatever, communist? What have you ever considered this side?
Yeah.
And then maybe you talk to her, she go, "Well, my dad was a raging capitalist or something. I hated him."
I
Yeah,
never saw him. He
yeah,
never
yeah.
came to
He
my
never came, and
soccer
then
games.
okay, that framed how you see
Yeah.
capitalism, or like different things like that. I think if you can get to the bottom of who people are, and then you may be able to understand the discussions better.
Hmm.
They still may be wrong, right? They still may be wrong, and they may have an ignorant approach. But at least if you can get to a point where you can understand people a little better, maybe there's some real estate there for common ground.
I think so. And my thing with AOC, and the reason I mentioned her, she could do so much good, because if one approach is if people say, "Hey, she doesn't know, she is an idiot," but I mean, She was a waitress
Yeah.
and then became one of the most powerful women in the country. In one way, she could literally change millions of young women, men's lives if she said, you know what, I came from nothing. I was a waitress, I was broke, and now I'm one of the most powerful women in the world, in Congress. But instead, she takes the approach that rich people are bad, tax the rich, eat the rich. What are you talking about? You are now that. The
Yeah.
very thing you despise, you became. So if we could get to why do you actually feel that way? Bernie Sanders, which is he's a socialist, but he owns multiple homes. He's a multimillionaire. It's like, why do you say these things? Is it really just for votes? Because then you're deceiving your voters, and that's the thing. Let's educate some of these voters because I've had a lot of these discussions with CEOs of large news companies. These influencers, they're not really what you think. Some of them are super good people. Some of them that have a front to be super good people are absolutely, for lack of a better term, because we're going to keep it age appropriate here, they're just despicable.
Yeah.
It's let's get to the root cause of things. Let's have a real discussion. And I kind of want to set a ground rule where we're not going to do what a Tucker Carlson or Nick Fuentes or Piers Morgan. If you have something to say to somebody, you're going to say it during the
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
You're not going to say, you know what, it was great to meet you, Brandon, and then 10 minutes later tweet at it. No, we're not going to do that. You got something to say it to their chest, say it to their face. Let's have a real discussion. No more of this clickbait. Let's let the listeners, the voters, the Americans come to your own conclusion. And whether you think I'm right, I'm an idiot, Brandon's right, Brandon's an idiot, AOC's right, like, who cares? Just engage in lively conversation and let's bring back intimate discussion, not 180 characters and just 60-second clips.
Yeah, I love that. What do you see as we wrap it up? I know you got things to do. Where do you see Freedom Chat in the next 5 years? Like, what's your perspective? Because I think a lot of people. I guess I can frame it this way. You and I are entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
We're both young. I mean, you much younger than me. I think so. Uh, and we see the world very differently.
Mm-hmm.
We are incredibly optimistic about business, about the world, and we've been exposed to people who have made a lot of money. So we
Mm-hmm.
understand how creating businesses and companies and having that foresight, how that stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to explain what your vision is for Freedom Chat so that the average person can kind of see what the perspective is. Because some people are maybe thinking to themselves, and I don't want to speak for you, I'll give you a chance to say it out of your own mouth, but some people think Freedom Chat is like some side hustle thing
Mm-hmm.
where somebody just created a little freedom thing and it's going to be a couple people on there and it's just going to be something that people go to every now and again. But that's not the case at all.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take?
Yeah, it's definitely not a side hustle. This has been, I mean, we have an incredible team behind us and we've built it. If you think of what's the most popular means of communication today, it's texting. It's voice and video calls. Yeah, there's email, but we're giving people their privacy back. Trust in digital privacy is at an all-time low. Data selling is at an all-time high. So I want people to trust again that, I mean, you're right. There was a study that came out. 50% of people believe their calls or texts aren't secure. So you're just sending something knowing that somebody on the other end, some government official, hacker, somebody can see what you're saying. I'm not okay with that. And it's not I have something to hide, I have stuff to protect. I don't want, if I run for office in 14 years, for somebody to pull out a text, which we've seen all too often. Hey, look what Tanner said 14 years ago or
Yeah.
15. It's like, okay, why is that shouldn't have even been out there? It should be an intimate conversation. So I see Freedom Chat is it could be an acquisition target. We could take what we have created and somebody would want to apply it to healthcare. I see it also that I think Freedom Chat is $1 billion company by 2030 because I think that we will have 15 million premium subscribers that want to engage with you, want to engage with other influencers, that want exclusive features like screenshot protection, uh, self-destructing messages. So in order to do that, we don't sell your data. We need to keep the lights on. And how do you do that? Well, we charge you a very, very modest $5.99 a month or $52.99 a year. So if you value your privacy, you want to ensure that nobody can see what you're saying. You want to prevent screenshots and screen recordings entirely, self-destruct messages. not allow people to share your images or videos without your permission, yeah, you're going to pay. So if we can get 15 million paying users by 2030, paying $5.99 a month, that's 1.1 billion in annualized revenue. So the numbers work in our favor. The market size and opportunity works in our favor. And freedom, for some reason, people think when I mention freedom chat, they say, "Oh, that's a MAGA, that's a Trump thing." Well, freedom, people have died all over the world to have their freedom. It is not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an American ideal because we've done it and delivered it so
Yeah,
perfectly.
yeah, we do it better than anybody.
I mean, you are an entrepreneur, and that's your audience might not know that. That's what I was impressed. You have started and run, and you have more companies than most people might think. But that's what I mean. Like you, nowhere else in the world can you start and create a company so easily. Can
Yeah,
you make your own money just
yeah,
from an idea? And we I've spoken to people. There's somebody in Taiwan. It was a Taiwan news site, and they were interested in Freedom Chat. And well, Taiwan is obviously that's not American, but they're afraid of China and interference from there. So it really is it's a global issue
mhm,
around the world. And I see Freedom Chat. It's not just going to be an American thing. It's going to be a global thing. People are tired of WhatsApp, Meta, the trust for Signal on the conservative front is at an all-time low. Telegram is not actually as secure as people may think. They don't have end-to-end encryption by default. It's really, okay, I want my privacy. What am I going to use? What am I going to trust? Does this company align with my values? I mean, freedom chat, God, family, freedom, privacy. I'd say more than 50% of the world can get behind that. And if you don't, go use something else. No harm. I don't really care.
yeah.
So not a side hustle. It's an incredibly exciting opportunity, and it's something that I believe in with all my heart. Our team believes in, and I really am excited for the future.
Yeah, and I think that I always think about this term. I think it was the quarterback. He played for the Seahawks, and now he plays for. I don't even watch football anymore. I forgot where he played for. I can't think of. He's married to Sierra
Russell
Russell
Wilson.
Wilson.
I only know because he came to Denver and did nothing.
Yeah,
Absolutely did nothing.
so yeah, Russell Wilson had a statement. I think this was him. It was like, "Why not us?" And every company that I'm a part of in significant way, meaning
Hmm.
some equity, or I'm a big part of the founding of a company. Some of the ones I own outright, but any company, I'm like, why not us?
Hmm.
Why would we wouldn't be the next multi-billion-dollar company? Why
Hmm.
not? And I want people to internalize that. Not everybody's going to believe it.
Yeah.
But for those who are questioning in their mind, will Freedom Chat be all that it's expected to be?
Hmm.
Why not us?
Hmm.
We have the infrastructure, we have the vision. We're starting it at the right time where we can be incredibly innovative right off the bat instead
Hmm.
of trying to undo old tricks. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And
Leverage existing technology,
right.
couple it with new ways.
And
Yep.
now AI and all this new technology, like we can be in the forefront of something really incredible and great. And I love the integration of how we integrated with Blackline.
Hmm.
So I really do think about it every day, and I want people to understand that is that I see Freedom Chat as something great and something unique. That's the only reason why I'm a part of it. I got way too much stuff going on.
I know
But
you're
when,
busy.
but when we talked about Freedom Chat, I said, you know what, dude, that makes sense to me, and it's really good. I really want to be able to communicate freely. I really want to know that when the rubber hit the road and the government come crashing down on some of these companies, that these other companies could be complicit. They will fold. They will snitch on you.
Hmm.
They will not be secured like they claim that they would because in my opinion, many of these companies are owned by people who believe in that type of idea.
Yep.
They present this to you, but in their personal life, they're ready to rat you out to the government at any given time, ban you for whatever reason. And I'm like, why are we participating in that? Why are we supporting companies like that? Why don't we support a company that we
Create
know
our own
that
thing.
we could trust?
Yeah.
And I do believe that it'll be a $1 billion plus company in 5 years. And that's for the people that really care about investing and growing and the people that are not interested in it at all, they just want to communicate, it's going to be the most prominent communication platform that's secure in encryption, and also a place where you can, have a social aspect of it. And like you said, send your wife, your friends messages. It don't have to be nothing super spooky.
Yeah.
Just that you don't want your stuff being intercepted unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Even if you're sending like some of the stuff that we have sent on Freedom Chat is like I had to send my ID to somebody, I had to send a credit card numbers to a person. We had to give them passwords and codes and stuff. And I'm like, do it on Freedom Chat. I don't trust any other platform to do it on. And so just, my thoughts and how can people go and follow Freedom Chat? I know that we have merch with Freedom Chat now.
Oh yeah, they
So
need
just
to.
yeah,
They
tell
need to
tell
check
them about that
out.
part. Tell them about the links that they can go follow and support in the merch side.
So first, if you're interested in Freedom Chat, go to freedomchat.com or download it on iOS or Android. If you're interested in investing as an accredited or non-accredited, remember, just contact us. Invest@freedomchat.com. Let us know. Let us hear from you. Say, I'm an accredited investor. I'm not an accredited investor, but I'd be interested in a crowdfunding opportunity. Perfect. Just let us know. Merch is actually powered by you all,
Pure Choice Apparel.
and it looks incredible. So if you are interested in some freedom-loving, God-fearing, incredible merch, go to freedomchat.com, scroll down, you'll see shop, or just do shop.freedomchat.com. I think everybody can spell that out. But I mean, there's notebooks, coffee mugs, sweatshirts. I should have been wearing some, but just go check it out. And I think we've covered most of it.
Yeah. And if you guys want to communicate with me, you can download the app, follow me, the Officer Tatum, or you can send me an email at brandon@freedomchat.com, brandon@freedomchat.com. And I appreciate all the people that have sent me emails. I literally told you, and I promised them I will read every single email. Now, I can't respond directly to everybody. Some of y'all have some stuff that you say to me that I can't respond to very quickly. But for everybody that sends me a message at brandon@freedomchat.com, I see your emails. I'm looking at them. I'm praying for you. And you know who you are. People that have sent me messages to pray for them. So yeah, that's it. We gotta. I look forward to the interview that we're gonna do.
Yeah, that'll be fun
to have the first Freedom Chat. So God bless you, Tanner. Man, I appreciate working with you. I believe in you. I believe in your vision, and we're gonna take this thing to the next level.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yep, I love you guys. That concludes the interview. Make sure you go to freedomchat.com, download it on iOS or your Android, and hit me up, brandon@freedomchat.com. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.